Hi, I'm Greg Hackney, and I want to talk to you a little today about a new frog hook that I helped design by Tru-Tungsten. This hook is going to revolutionize frog fishing. You know, it's been a big problem in the past of getting strikes and missing it. And what makes this hook better than most of the frog hooks out there today, it's actually a double hook, which is actually the same type of hook that's used in the hollow body frog, where the hookup ratio is much better than it has been on what I call a running frog, you know, one of the new plastic frogs. The way to rig this hook is simple. You start with a frog. This is actually a 4/0. The hook comes from like a 3 to a 6/0 hook, just depending on what size line, what size frog you're using. There's two different ways to rig this frog. The first way is to actually rig the frog before you tie it on, which is to run the hooks inside the frog and run the eye completely out. And pull both hooks through the legs of the frog. And what you end up with as a finished product is the hook's riding on top, which is the same as a hollow body frog. Now I'll do this more so when fishing open water, where I'm not fishing around a lot of vegetation, maybe fishing down riprap, open water cover. And I fish the hooks exposed out the back, so the instant that fish gets the frog, he's hooked. You almost don't even have to set the hook, and I 95% of the time am fishing it on braid anyway, because there's no reason to use mono, because that fish is actually looking at the frog, not at your line. Your line is actually riding above the water. The other way is the more traditional way, which is to already have the hook tied on. You start by pinching the hooks together, which actually what you're doing is making almost like threading a single hook through the bait instead of a double. You go into the head of the bait, just like you normally would. And what you're trying to do is keep those hooks as close together while rigging so you don't tear a hole in your frog. Okay? Once you get it through, turn your frog over. And the end bend is what holds the hook on the frog and keeps the hook from running up the frog. Then you want to do the same thing with the back. Where both hooks are now exposed out the back. And so what I like to do is then just skin hook just a little bit of plastic right over top of those hooks. And so that way, when I'm throwing the frog, if it happens to get turned over, it's still, as you can see dragging across my hand, it's still completely weedless. And the instant that fish comes up and takes that frog, whoop, you got both hooks popped out right there. Home. You know, any frog will work with this hook. This hook is made for all frogs. You know, the different styles of frogs today, everybody's frog is a little bit different. Some have a bigger body, some a smaller body, and basically all I'm doing is changing the size of my hook for the size of the frog. And you know, the deal with this frog, it works on any kind of cover. Like this is one of the situations here where we're fishing down riprap. I would use the hooks exposed. You know, there's nothing for the frog to get hung on. And so I got both of those hooks riding high on the back of that frog. But you can see, with this hook, actually what it does is planes the frog. With those two hooks on the back, the frog runs straight, never turns over. So it's right every cast. You know, another use for this hook is it's been like the best kept secret, I guess, is using this hook actually as a spinnerbait and buzz bait trailer hook. And the deal is, it hangs on there, and the way the eye is, you actually don't have to use a keeper to keep it on the hook because the eye is smaller. And it swings back there free, and when you're coming through cover, the way the hook's made, it rides right over the cover, and it's almost weedless, just like a regular trailer hook. But the deal is, you end up with 2 opportunities to catch the fish instead of 1. You know, when that fish comes in there, that single hook could get turned, but that double hook's not. It's gonna hook up every time. So the next time you pick up a package of the Hack Attack Frog Hook, don't just use it on your frog. Try it on your spinnerbait and buzzbait.